Hey guys, it's Lena, and today I want to share a few things, a few thoughts of mine that uh, I want to share a few pieces of information that I recently discovered for myself. So, because of this situation, current very strange and disturbing situation, I've noticed that. Uh, I really started doing something strange, not that I used to do very often. For example, I started rewatching TV shows I enjoyed. Before I never did anything like that. I preferred watching new content. And now I've been reading a few books. I don't find them very intellectual ones, but they are very catchy and they are very distracting from our current reality. And another thing I've been doing is that I've been watching and listening to a lot of podcasts, a lot of psychological podcasts, and neuropsychological podcasts. And I discovered a lot of interesting thoughts for myself. So today I want to share a few of them with you. Maybe there will be a second part or a third part. Um, we'll see, and I hope you'll enjoy this video. So, anyways, I've been watching a lot um, about neuropsychology. So, this is how our brain works. So, imagine our brain is a supercomputer, and this supercomputer. It controls like every cell of your body. And the interesting thing is that, of course, everyone heard about it this way or another, that when we, for example, think something bad or tell something bad or express some bad emotions, um, it affects our body, our physical body. And before that, before those podcasts, well, of course, I believed that, but I wasn't thinking, I wasn't feeling about it like it was something like 100% real, like something scientific. But there were a lot of studies that showed with like scientific equipment, medical equipment, that the changes that are happening when we are thinking something bad. When we are, for example, feeling jealous or angry or I don't know, violent, and there are changes in our brains that literally block some vital activity in our brain. So it happens, if you can say it like that. For example, imagine a computer, and for example, you're feeling extremely jealous toward someone, and this feeling of jealousy, it's like, imagine like a mini virus in your computer, or maybe some silly but hyper needy game. So, and it occupies almost, like, imagine 80% of your processor capacity, of your computer capacity. So what's going on? That during the time, and maybe you have experienced it on your computer, like imagine you are launching a silly game, and at this time, for example, imagining you are listening to some music, and the music player is being put on pause because the computer cannot process simultaneously game launch and audio player. So imagine something like this happens in your brain. So some functions, some not so vital functions, are being paused. And the whole amount of energy, the whole amount of attention of our brain is being put towards, for example, our anger, our silly game. And at this time, literally, our brain functions differently, and it cannot send some signals, for example, to some smallest parts of our body, and it causes some, for example, some blood flow shortage, and it causes some problems. It's the start of some health issues, and this is scientifically proven. And when I heard about it, I started thinking, well, what the hell? So basically, if we have any problems in our body that are not caused, that have not been caused by some accident, we are causing these problems ourselves. And this was a shocking truth. But at the same time, this means that we can control not only how we feel emotionally, but how we feel physically. And it really sounds like biohacking or some sort of sorcery even. And this very clever neuropsychologist, I forgot unfortunately her name, but I will link some information about her in the info. So she told a story how she had some kind of an incident, or she was experiencing some trauma, maybe some loss or something very difficult to process. And at that time she was wearing a glucose monitor. And this glucose monitor, it shows you the amount of glucose in your blood. So basically what she noticed, that she was experiencing a very high levels of stress and anxiety, and her glucose at that time went very high. It skyrocketed. So because of the stress, her whole body, it was like knives out situation. So it was experiencing something crazy. So it got broken literally. And before that, prior that, she didn't have any problems with her glucose levels. And so, because she knew that her brain can signal, as well as it can signal the glucose to rise up, it can as well it can reverse the signal. It can reverse this order to our blood, to the glucose, to all the organs responsible for this process. So, and she started thinking about her emotions, and she started rebuilding her emotions. So, and in a very short time, because she was very experienced, she was able to lower her glucose levels to absolute normal ones. And it was like in a matter of minutes, or 10 or 20 minutes. And this is so incredible. This information, it felt so incredible that I realized that we can control our bodies. really, we can. And before that, I knew that there was a possibility, but to me, to my mind, it felt like, imagine the president of the United States wants, I don't know, that someone in the deep, deep village, far, far away from civilization, that, for example, an old woman, he wants her to have her own well, to have her own clean water nearby. And imagine president gives an order, and because the United States is a huge country, so this order, it is being like leveled down and down and down. And so imagine, like, maybe some days or weeks or months pass by, and this woman is given like maybe some gallons of water instead, not a new well being built. And this was of course, this I hope this doesn't reflect the situation, like the political structure in the US, but for example, in the country where I live, Russia, sometimes these kind of silly things happen, and I understand, because it's very difficult to control every step of the way. The structure is very difficult. It's very complex. So that's why that's what I thought about my own body. But talking about glucose in blood, it's kind of complex. Well, it's not very difficult to rise those levels, but it's a bit difficult to make them lower. And if she was able to do so, I think that what we can achieve is that we can, for example, well, at least try to do the same, at least learn to do the same, try learning. And this thing, it really fascinated me like to bits, because now I know where to focus my energy, where to focus my attention, and I no longer think a lot about this current military economic situation that it is really disturbing. I now think that I can do something actually bad for me. No, better for me, not bad. Of course we can do something bad for ourselves. It's easy, but doing something better, something positive, is really a goal for me right now. So I think I really wanted to share this information with you, and just to encourage you, maybe listening to those podcasts as well, maybe reading books about that, maybe try, just even if you just think that what you think, what you do, it literally causes this or that in your body. And maybe just knowing this information, in the future you will try to learn how to control what you think, what you do, and learn how to change the pattern. So this was my first part of the video, because I have a lot of interesting things for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it, write a comment what do you think about it. If you ever heard about neuropsychology, what do you think about it? If you ever experienced something like, for example, that glucose situation, please let me know. It would be very, very interesting, and I will see you in the next part. And please, you can also watch my other videos and do subscribe. This really helps. It's a very easy way to add just a pinch of serotonin to my everyday life. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.